How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Normally it's pretty dang hot, but today it's really not all that hot. Actually, it's just a little bit cloudy. I think this is in the season right now where you get a lot of rain in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, sometimes early in the morning and stuff like that. So I think that starts about around at the end of May, and it usually rains a lot between May to the end of July or something like that. But normally it's just really hot here. Today, even with it being, you know, cloudy and stuff like that, the sun is hiding back behind the clouds. It's still a little bit warm. To me, it feels like it's probably about around 90 degrees, something around that. But normally on a hot day, or a sunny day, I mean, it can get well up above 100, touching 100, or right there around 100, which I'm the kind of person that kind of likes hot weather. I don't mind the hot weather. I'm just not a cold weather type person. Normally they get some type of deal. It's called I think it's typhoons or monsoons or whatever you want to call them. And so where you get like the real heavy downpours and stuff like that. The storms here are a little bit different than they are back in the US. They get pretty severe down here. The lightning is like crazy, and the thunder's much louder here, it seems like to me. When you get a place, I would recommend getting some type of low energy type air conditioning system. Like I think they call them inverters or something like that. I think you could pick one up. I priced one up in Robertson's Mall at Robertson's Appliance. I found an LG model for about around 31,000 pesos, so that's not really all that bad. And LG will install it for you for free. And another thing, if you're considering moving into the Philippines, is the noise, or I call it noise pollution. To me, I'm used to it. As my past is, before coming here to the Philippines, I have been a truck driver for many years, and so it doesn't bother me as far as the noise pollution, because I spend a lot of my time spending the nights in truck stops, the other trucks running, and hearing all kinds of other noises and stuff like that. So that doesn't really bother me, but for you it might be a different story. And I guess the noise pollution, I guess that would be, it would consider about where you may live. If you live in the bigger cities like, say, Manila, I don't know about Dumaguete, but Manila, places like that, Cebu or something like that, you'll have more traffic noise than you will anything. And but there's other types of noise pollution too in different areas, like say the provinces of the Philippines, like we're kind of like where I'm at, and it's, you have all the different types of noises. It all varies. You have the dogs barking, you have roosters, and sometimes also some of the people in the village, they'll karaoke, and they'll play music real loud and stuff like that. Sometimes it starts early in the day, it can go all the way up in the middle of the night. But that's one of the things you probably will need to consider if you think about coming to the Philippines or moving here to the Philippines. Especially if it's in the provinces areas, there are going to be them kind of typical sounds, and you're going to have the roosters. They get up about around 4:30 in the morning. Actually, it's a good wake-up call, to be honest with you. Some people might be a little bit worried about the cost of living. Actually, the cost of living out here is not really that bad. I can tell you it's much better than the United States. You can get things way more cheaper. I mean, it was just like the other day. Me and my wife, we went to the store, just to give you kind of an idea. We went to the store the other day, and I was telling my wife, we need to leave off a lot of stuff, that some of this unnecessary stuff that we really don't need. We need to kind of like stock up on like meat. That was one of the main things I said that we needed to do, because we got a big enough freezer we can put away a lot of meat. So we got pork chops, we got ground beef, we got some pork, we got some chicken, and stuff like that. We stowed it away, and got some stuff like some drinks and stuff like that, just to put away and everything like that. And it was not really all that expensive. I know it would be way more back home in Kentucky to buy it, and than it would to buy it here in the Philippines. And I think it came around to about around 2,500 pesos, which is just a little over $50 for all that. And just alone that, what we have, I guarantee you it probably would have cost us well over $100 to get all that back at home in the United States. I really couldn't tell you right at this exact moment what the money exchange is right now, but I can give you kind of like a little bit of a rough. It's somewhere in the neighborhood. I always look at it this way, and when I count the money, I do it like this. For every $100 you get 5,000 pesos. Here at our home here, it's already paid for, so we ain't got to worry about that. The electric can be a little high depending on what you got running in your house and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it just all depends. It would be way more efficient if you were to get energy saving appliances like air conditioner, refrigerator, and stuff like that. That will help a long way. But anyway, moving along, the cost of living here, like I said, is not really all that bad. It's actually much better than the United States. The other day, I put fuel in my motorbike there, and it was down on low. I mean, it was not completely out of gas, but I needed to stop. So I filled it all the way up. I'm not sure how many liters this thing holds, or how many gallons, but it does. I filled it all the way up, and pesos altogether, it was less than $6. And you'd be surprised with a little old bike like that how far it will take you. The last time I put fuel in it was about 2 weeks ago, and I'm still on half. Of course, I have some road trips that are coming up, and like I was saying at the beginning of the video when we were talking about, or when I was talking about the weather, you kind of like have to overshoot, and you got to plan, you got to really look ahead, because going out, I got some video I want to do along the coast and everything like that, with the beaches and everything like that, and that's a little bit hard to do when you get over there and then it starts to downpour, you know. So I'm actually looking for a good clear sunny day where I can go there and actually get some really good video and stuff like that. Me and the wife were planning to go over to Boracay. Don't know when that will be, but it's in the very near future. We're going to go there, take a little time off and stuff like that, and stuff like that. We were going to go, but there was some things that were coming up and everything like that. She just had a baby and everything like that, or our daughter was born just last month, so right now she's doing the resting thing. So we got some trips that are planned, but I'm going to be making some trips on my motorbike. Going to be going up the coast. I'm going to have to plan it, like I said, very carefully, because I don't want to get there and then it start raining and it just ruin the whole day, you know. And if you are wondering about the plumbing, what is the plumbing like, how much does the plumbing cost here, that would also vary about where you live, where you plan to live. where you plan to stay. If you go in toward the city or something like that, or live up on a mountain like I do, it's kind of a little hard. So we run off a well system and septic, of course. And if you, as you get closer in the city, they have their own plumbing and stuff like that, so you'll have that utility. We run a large tank and a storage tank. So the well water is pumped into that storage tank, and it lasts quite a while. And we use that for laundry, washing dishes, and stuff like that. And of course, we have a water cooler that they bring us water, purified water, spring water, or whatever you want to call it. And we have a water cooler for that, and that's our drinking water. Now, if you want to talk about expenses as far as clothes, that's not all that bad. Back in the United States, I would spend a lot of money on clothes. Of course, a lot of the brands that I would wear back in the United States, they don't offer here in the Philippines. I brought a lot of that with me. So they have your ordinary clothes and stuff like that. I mean, you can still get Nike. Surprisingly, you can get Hey Dudes in the Philippines, which has surprised me. But a lot of stuff that I would wear in Florida and stuff like that were Tommy Bahama and stuff like that. But that's kind of like sort of something you can't find here. But in general, it's less expensive. I feel like it's less expensive compared to the United States. It wasn't that long ago we went to the Robertson's Mall in downtown in Butuan, and I got 3 shirts, 3 shorts, 3 pairs of shorts, and we got the kids some stuff too, some shorts and some shirts and stuff like that. I think all together, I think even just to add, we bought some a bed sheet and a couple of pillowcases, and it was still less than $100 compared, I mean, US dollars. It was just a little shy of 5,000 pesos, which was just under $100. So I know for a fact just the 3 shorts and the 3 shirts alone would have been probably close to upwards or close to $100 back at home in the United States. You know, a lot of stuff that I have, I brought over here with me. You know, like my sunglasses, some of my clothes and stuff like that. So it saved a lot of money. I mean, I do spend a lot of money on my sunglasses. That's just how I am. I mean, some people think I'm crazy, but I mean, you know, but I believe that it seems like if I buy a cheap pair of sunglasses and I pay like, say, $10 per pair of sunglasses, it'll be probably a week and I will lose them. But if you go buy some Ray-Ban or some Versace's or something like that, you're going to know where they're at all times, because I make sure I keep up with them, you know. But that's just me. But most of the stuff I brought over here, so that helped out a whole lot as far as my clothes and stuff like that. Other expenses here, I would say, is if you don't have transportation, that a multi-cab or a Jeep can run you somewhere around 30 pesos each way, sometimes upwards up to 100 pesos depending on where you're going and stuff like that. Some of these Jeeps can't go all the way into town, so they'll take you to a stop, and then that's where you would catch a multi-cab, and then it would take you wherever you're going. So that's why I bought a motorbike. I bought this Honda right here. It does the job. It's 125 cc's. It is not a slow scooter. It is. I did a little research looked at the mini bikes, and I was caught between a Yamaha and a Honda. So I went with the cheaper one. It was just a little cheaper than the Yamaha. They both perform the same way, but I believe if you're thinking about coming here to the Philippines, a motorbike is, some people call them a scooter, but they're really the technical term is a motorbike because it's above 100 cc's. So this thing will do 80 miles an hour, so that's plenty of fast for the Philippines. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, if I were to get a motorbike, I would get something like the Honda. This is a Honda Click. I would get something like that because it maneuvers real good in traffic. It's got all the bells and whistles that you need, and the loud horn and stuff like that. It get up and go when you want it to. It's got a good braking system on it. The turning on it is really good, like going in and out of traffic and stuff like that. I think a whole lot of it has to do with the suspension and all that kind of stuff, the motor and stuff like that. Some of these motorbikes here in the Philippines got them real skinny tires on them, but I wouldn't recommend anything like that, but I guess if you like skinny tires, you can buy them. Like on this one here, it's got the big tires on it, and of course it's registered, and that's another expense. Here in the Philippines, I tell you how it works. It works a little different here in the Philippines back in the US. And one of the things is that when you buy a bike, especially if you pay for it in cash, your registration is free for 3 years, and they take your insurance. So you ain't got to go out and get insurance for the bike because it's insured through the people who you bought it from. So I bought mine through Honda. Not only they registered it free for 3 years, I got 3 years free of insurance. So that's another expense that I ain't got to worry about, you know. And just a quick on the visa extension. When you first come here, you get 29 days free, so you ain't got to worry about the first 29 days. If you're planning on staying a little bit longer, you want to get an extension, your first extension, that cost me roughly around 3,000 pesos, so that's just shy of $100. I just did my six-month extension. That was around 13,600 pesos, let's say. So that was just a little over $200. So I'm here all the way till January before I do my next extension. I know that there's a speed limit here, but I don't think anybody's following it. I know I haven't. I just pretty much go with the flow of traffic. One of the things you have to watch out for is, especially when you go into downtown areas and stuff like that, if you're out on the main highway or something like that, it's pretty much a dry run. There's not really much you have to worry about as far as traffic, but like especially if you go in like downtown Butuan or something like that, it can get a little testy for you. A lot of these multi-cabs, they'll stop right in the middle of the road just to let people on and off and stuff like that. And especially if it's in a busy time of the day, there's people getting off work and there's people going to work. There's people who's traveling there and going there, coming from here and stuff like that. You come up behind one of those things and you have to stop. It's hard to go around them because you got traffic coming up to the left of you. So I also seen cases where I've seen it with my own eyes where people will drive in between two trucks. Now I know you couldn't get by with that back in the United States. That was one of the things that I experienced back in the United States as a truck driver. So that's a really dangerous move. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention, I left out that when you first come here to the Philippines, your regular driver's license back like from the United States is good here in the Philippines for 90 days. So you can actually drive on a U.S. driver's license here in the Philippines for 90 days. There's one thing you got to make sure that you do, and that is always keep your passport with you, any papers that have your visa extension, your VAX card, and all that, and make sure your bike is registered and stuff like that, because they do have checkpoints here in the Philippines. They can randomly stop you, and if you don't have the proper paperwork and everything that you need, to get through that checkpoint. If they randomly check you, they can impound your bike, and that could be a really bad thing. Oh boy, I do believe we got a cloud coming up. Look like it might rain any minute. We'll try to wrap this up. And last but not least, one of the things that you're going to have to consider too is, if you're thinking about coming here to the Philippines, is that you have to have some patience. The people here are not rushed, not at all. They're not going to be rushed, and people take their time. And there's some of the things you like if you're gonna have to prepare for if you're coming here. Like say if you go into a drugstore, like say Watson's and SM Mall or something like that. Just use that as an example. I went there and get some contact solution, and there was probably about 5 people in front of me. It literally took about 20 minutes for me to get up there before it was my turn. And it's like that also in grocery stores and stuff like that. So that's one of the things you're going to have to adapt to when you come here to the Philippines, is having plenty of patience.
What are you doing?
Somebody's checking up on me. This is my lovely wife.
No, you're not recording that.
Yes, I am. See how lucky I am. She's checking up on me. Was you checking up on me?
I'm not.
Where are you going?
We're buying.
She's trying to think. She's trying to think of a reason.
Sa pa English ng uling.
Who?
Charcoal.
Oh, you're going to find the charcoal. So you want to do the pork chops?
Yes.
Are they unthawed?
Yeah.
Or are they still frozen? Are they still
We will
frozen?
go to there.
She's got this new thing she's doing now. When she points, she don't use her finger or anything like that. She uses her lips. She goes over there. That's how she does that. What do you think, Alexander? Show your teeth. He lost some teeth the other day.
No!
He lost some teeth. Well, we're going to look at making some good pork chops tonight.
No, that's...
So we'll wrap up this video. But anyway, if you're thinking about coming here, or one of the things that you may have some concerns and stuff like that, or whatever, just know that, you know, it is hot here. There is a little bit of noise. The cost is not, it's much better than what you may think. Just do your research and stuff like that. The traffic, you can deal with it. It's not all that bad. And, you know, just have a little patience anywhere you go or anything like that. This is one of the most beautiful countries that you can come to, and I would recommend just trying it out before you come, if you have to. Like I said, do some research. There's vlogs out there, including mine. Mine is not the only one out there. I'm just getting started, but just do your research, come out here, and I guarantee you you'll love it. And thanks again, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Until then, don't let your hearts be troubled, and we'll see you on the next video. Catch you later.